Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Guac and Cheese. This is episode 10. As y'all know, my name is Stanley O. Jr. To my left is Rafdew.
Stop.
To his other left is Digit.
Hello.
And to his left and to my right is good old Bravo.
What's up?
So, medieval.
Yeah,
A fun
times.
topic to talk about that.
Medieval times?
Yeah,
Those were pretty. Those were pretty tough times. Or
it was
The
tough.
restaurant's pretty good.
Yeah. I haven't actually.
I like how I was like, guys, let's not talk about food. Talk about the medieval times. Yeah, their food's pretty good.
Well, I mean, I'd like to go. What with the two knights jousting each other.
I want to see the jousting.
Yeah, me too.
Sure, if that's an actual thing that like commonly happened though.
Oh,
Don't you think that's a little weird?
King Henry, he did it.
No, I said commonly.
Well, yeah, commoners weren't doing it, but like knights and shit were.
Mm.
We should
Well,
become a knight.
commoners weren't playing
Knights.
golf either, but rich
Ha ha.
people were.
With his haha
Yeah.
rich laugh.
Wish I had money.
But no. I think back in the day was like really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think people even back then were like from their homes and like in cities particularly.
Yeah.
I think I heard from my social studies teachers. They would just take their buckets of poop and just throw them out the window, and they'd be out in the street, which
So-
is pretty bad.
That's
Wow.
where the term muckrakers came from.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah, so back in the day, people, they had this job where they literally had to clean the shit from out the street. They were called muckrakers. So in politics, if you talk smack about somebody, they would call you a muckraker because you were slinging shit.
Mm,
That's where that term came from.
I mean, back then it wasn't really like bathroom.
There was no such thing as a sewer like
Yeah,
system.
sewer stain.
Well, the Romans, they had a sewer system.
Yeah, but,
But-
not really.
But then after the fall of Rome,
Yeah.
all that stuff kind of went the way of the dodo.
yeah,
Dodo. Yeah,
It
that's crazy.
lost its wings and then got killed by white people.
Bingo.
Like, that is
the way
what
she
happened to
goes.
the Romans. The Romans.
That's the way she goes.
The way she goes.
The way she goes.
Well, dude, they were literally taking like blocks and concrete from those old Roman structures and then just breaking them and then reusing them to build houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? It's kind of like that's like modern day Minecraft things to do, except in real life.
Well, it's kind of like, in an apocalypse. I mean, you got all these freestanding structures that are falling apart. You're just going to go and take stuff from them and reuse them.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
either
Fallout.
that or go and do your own, go and make it yourself, or grab the
Or it's
pre-existing
easier
stuff.
that's to grab it if it's already there.
Wasn't it medieval? They had their own factions or something? Like their own army?
There's a lot of like city-esque states, a lot of kings and
A lot of freaking politics that were like divided because like nowadays, like, okay, let's take Germany for example. Even not too like long ago, less than like 200 years ago, Germany had like hundreds of like dukes, princes, and kings and other stuff like that.
That was
Divided
before
states.
the mustache man, right?
Yeah.
The mustache man.
No,
It was like
that's
before
sure.
the unification of Germany, and it's like you had a bunch of like kings, princes, and other stuff like that had their own private armies, but they
Yeah.
weren't unified together. They'd have like different factions within the German lands, but even then, within those German lands, just like if you've ever heard of a game called Hearts of Iron 4, what is it called? Map Gore? I forgot.
maybe.
You talking about city states?
No, I'm just talking about like the nations of like
Oh, core states.
I can't remember. I'll look up the term for Hearts of Iron 4, but it's like it's a messy kind of like it's a messy picture in the politics of like older nations or like the nations that we know of today. So France, Germany, even England didn't have like a unified faction or a unified force. It was quite literally different lands, and within those lands of those like different speaking people, different nations or like different princes with their own politics, their own laws, and other stuff like that before they eventually unified within those nations.
through war and marriage.
Well, yeah, but even then, even if you got married, like people won't play ball.
Yeah.
Let me look up the term in Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah, politics have always been messy. It used to be you married your daughters or sons off to people to make sure you don't get attacked. And
Basically, it's
most
like a treaty.
yeah, because like you're not gonna attack your brother-in-law, are you? You know, that type deal.
Yeah.
But also like they were kings of like cities basically. Like every city had its own king just about in the ancient world. It's weird to
Yeah.
think about. Because our countries are not just, well, you know, our countries are well established now.
I'm looking at it. Hold on a second. I think it's called Border Gore.
You think it'd be comfortable
No.
wearing the armors?
No.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm sure they would like put stuff.
I mean, you
within
gotta
it.
deal with. Oh, was it?
That's true. They
chain?
probably did put a lot of padding and stuff. I think Gamison was probably very comfy because it's just padded,
Yeah.
like cloth and stuff. You
So
know what I
basically,
wish?
it'd be kind of looking like that.
You know what?
Yeah.
like
So
different
basically,
states.
basically like
And
that.
each of those like lands, there would be what's it called? There'd be different kings with different politics and not wanting to help out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Some kings.
a thing, a stylish, a clothes thing that kind of got left behind is the cloak. You know what I'm talking about? The hood and the 'cause, you know, you would wear that when it's raining and stuff.
Yeah.
And why did we run away from that? Imagine how people.
I mean,
would
how
feel goofy
long
now, but that'd be
Did
kind of
it
sick.
really last
I mean,
for
we
that
got
medieval?
ponchos. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
think
people
about.
don't wear ponchos as like a to like actually wear.
I think poncho's considered like a sweater,
It's like rain ponchos.
like a rain poncho.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain ponchos, but like people don't go outside wearing ponchos.
Yeah,
No. I think you might see kids doing
The only
that.
probably
thing
kids.
that-
Yeah.
The only thing that we kept our shoes. We
I think
kept our
umbrellas
shirts.
killed cloaks.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was stylish to have an umbrella because it was made of metal and stuff.
Well, not only that, but I mean, think about it like this: it was cheaper to get an umbrella because it was mass produced, whereas like a lot of your clothes at the time were individually tailored.
Mm.
And also, I mean, think about it this: I mean, a cloak is bigger, bulkier, heavier, you know, whereas an umbrella is just something you kind of carry. And some of them would use it as like a walking cane. You know, like I think it was in the 19th and 20th century, why a lot of those rich guys had canes. It was because they banned swords. Because originally all those guys, they were knighted and they would have their swords with them, but they were no longer allowed to carry swords on them publicly. So they switched from having a sword to a cane. Because the sword at the time symbolized their statue of office. So instead of now, since they can't have the sword, they switched to a cane. And then, you know, turn of the century, the cane started to go away.
Not unless you needed a walk.
Yeah. Not like a walking cane. I meant like more of a decorative cane that you
know,
kind of have.
Speaking of the canes, it kind of reminded me of this. There used to be duels a lot too.
Yeah.
Like that went into American history. Like a lot of people were still dueling around like after the Revolutionary War, and they outlawed. Well, they banned it. They got creative with banning it. So they basically said that if you partake in the duel, you can't run for office. That was like one of the things to keep politicians from, you know, dying.
Is it illegal now?
Yeah, I think
mean,
it
yeah.
should. I
You
mean,
can't, because a duel it's literally fight to the death. You would turn around and shoot.
well, at least up until someone submits, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So if like you
Yeah,
can't
but they
say
weren't going to.
you can't say you give up if you get your brains blown out. Somebody's just gonna shoot and kill you. I wonder what the first duels were like. Were they? They were probably something like rapiers or your choice of swords.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking. I was thinking like maybe they had like little hand crossbows and they would use that as guns instead of like the guns that we know now
Little
nowadays.
hand crossbow.
Yeah, like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how long what caused for the clothes to be not usable until the umbrella and stuff.
Umbrella's cool. Well, cause like again, people had cloaks for a long time, and then this shiny new thing, the umbrella. That's cool. You can also use it to walk, as a cane, right?
Yeah.
And then an umbrella could be a status symbol. So, you know, that. Um,
I don't know if it was the umbrella. I just know it was something.
I feel like it was
that.
probably the umbrella.
It has something to do with mass production.
Apparently, our earliest umbrellas were invented over 4,000 years ago in ancient China and Egypt. Originally created as parasols to provide shade from the sun. Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
So parasols are older than umbrellas.
That sounds right.
That's not surprising.
It's a little weird though. You usually think of parasols as the like dainty, womanly type of thing that you think about nowadays.
But they were probably using it for kings and emperors and keeping the sun off of them when they were being moved.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. Either that or monks, I think.
Oh, okay. So,
Would you rather be?
oh, weird. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I think attachable
So
collars.
apparently, umbrella was more than 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's what it said.
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Attachable collars are really cool.
Attachable collars.
So
Like-
most shirts nowadays, like dress shirts, they have the collar prefixed onto the shirt and already attached. Back in the day, you actually had, I wouldn't call it plastic. Forgot what the material was made of, but it was like this hard material. I think they actually had to use starch to press it, where you would attach it onto the shirt, and that was your collar. And they had different styles of collars, and the idea was you could swap out your collars on your shirt for different occasions. Like if you want to be more formal or less formal, or what kind of tie you're wearing that went with it. And you got to think, a lot of people, they may not have had the money to dry clean their clothes every single time they wore it.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was, well, you would get sweaty more often around your collar. So if you had a meeting in the afternoon and you sweat in that collar, you could just take that collar off, put on the other collar, and then now you're ready to go out to dinner or whatever.
Huh. That's interesting.
I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I was gonna say they're gonna know that you've been working, but then again, hygiene wasn't really a thing. Nobody had deodorant. Sticks.
Hygiene wasn't a thing back then.
Well, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say it was, but no, it wasn't. I mean,
No.
the only way you can smell good is unless you take a perfume or something that would make you smell better, like let's say mint
Yeah.
or something like that, something natural.
They didn't have deodorant.
Yeah, they didn't have deodorant. There's no way like they would that.
I
they
think
would
the
know.
only thing they ever
You just
had
came-
You know the
was-
guys
Came
in the
from
Peaky
working.
Blinders? That's what they were wearing for detachable collars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those.
Oh, those types.
Oh,
Those are
that
cool.
thing.
Yeah, I really feel like those should be brought back.
That would be cool.
Apparently, cloaks were phased out not too long ago, like late 1700s, early 1900s.
Yeah, I just thought I was gonna say that, but I wasn't too sure. So I was wanting to end up looking it up a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. I think it's just because apparently, from what Google says, mass production of sleeved overcoats. And that's really it. It's like made fitted coats cheaper and more practical for the working class. And you can see them in like the railroad construction workers and other stuff like that, with like those like heavy overcoats that you see as opposed to like just wearing cloaks.
Yeah, denim.
Yeah, denim.
Denim in the 1860s.
And Levi Strauss.
1860s.
Yeah. They had a problem with riveting, or like what's it called, with the what's it called, with jeans. You don't think about it nowadays, but you can see it now.
Yeah.
These rivets right here, they needed to put them in because if they didn't, the jeans would stretch and they would just have to, or they would be torn and wear down after like a few uses.
Those
and
are
then they
the
would have to
points
get,
of
like-
critical
Huh,
failure in
okay.
the trousers, so
It's-
they had to put those
So
in there.
apparently they did have hygiene back then.
Well, yeah, but like it's not like what we think of it nowadays.
No.
You don't have like, well, maybe you have some sort of soap, but
Well, here's the thing about their brushing teeth and stuff.
charcoal.
They use rough cloak sponges, sometimes using salt or sage. What's sage? I don't even know.
It's a type of plant.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
This is sage.
The first.
Oh, that.
So, speaking, talking about hygiene and stuff, deodorant didn't exist until like 1888.
Sounds
Dang,
about
dude.
right.
Who patented it?
It was Philadelphia. The first
Huh,
commercial
funny.
deodorant named Mum was invented in Philadelphia in 1888.
Was it powder?
It was waxy.
Oh, Huh.
It was a zinc oxide based cream.
I wonder how that feel back then.
Yeah, it probably didn't feel great, but
No.
it didn't stink.
Why do my armpits burn?
You said like sweating this all
Doctor,
everywhere.
is this rational? Oh, your mom's deodorant, I see. Hey.
Here, just take some Raid on. You'll feel better.
The Raid exists. They invented Raid before deodorant.
Raid on, that was the pill that everybody was taking for everything.
Oh yeah, it was a miracle thing. They started rotting women's teeth out and their throats.
Well, what's funny with Radon, it actually did cure stuff, but then the side effect was,
What did
oh
it
yeah,
cure?
by the way, your bones, yeah, they no longer
What did it
exist.
cure?
What did it cure? I can't remember.
I don't
what
think it cured anything.
Well, no,
Your
not
life,
cured.
man.
It treated symptoms of certain things, but losing bone strength is kind of a terrible.
It's radiation. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what it was. You have to look it up. There were some medical applications, but it was not worth, the effects of it, if that makes any sense.
Well, maybe. I mean, you hear radon, and it's literally radioactive element. Like, I shouldn't have anything radioactive inside of you.
Yeah, well, they didn't know that.
I always wonder how, since we were talking about medieval, like for now, I was wondering how, like the queens, like the women's and stuff, how they able to fit like tight
corsets
The
and stuff
corset-
like
corsets
that.
and stuff.
They just tighten it and tighten it. And the more they tighten it over time, the more they can go.
But wouldn't that be like less oxygen though?
Yeah, I mean. I
So what
think
it
they mess
does is it literally will push your organs around. Like there are people where it's like their waist is really tiny, and and if they literally can't not wear a corset because if they don't, then their body kind of like
I mean,
crazy.
it's a little weird because like nowadays we think of. I think most of the time that the queens would just be eating a bunch of stuff, so they'd
It was
be
like foot
more
binding, but for your waist.
thickums. So I'm not entirely sure if they can even wear corsets.
thickums.
Well, I
The
mean,
rise of the thick woman.
nah, that thing's ancient.
Yeah, you're right.
Because,
Because
like,
the original Venus statues are like thick.
It's not even Venus
Yeah.
statues. There's like these like ancient, way before Greek and Roman thing, like nomadic peoples.
Yeah.
They're depictions of like women and stuff like that. Have you seen it? Or not?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know, Bravo knows, but
You gotta
Is-
think about it like this: if you're a hunter
Fertility.
gatherer, your show of wealth is how much fat you have. Because I mean, if you've got people in your tribe that are really like big, then obviously that means you guys are really good at hunting and gathering.
And wide hips are desirable for what's it
Birth.
called? Birth.
hmm So, is the Viking era before or after
it should be during.
or during?
It's
Yeah.
during those
You wouldn't think it.
medieval times.
I wonder how they could tell time
How?
aside from a sundial.
I have no clue.
Mm.
That's probably the only thing they probably know is.
They'd have to figure that out first.
Yeah.
they'd have to
We
do
take
shit.
time for granted, although we kind of shift it. But like for them, as soon as it starts getting dark, I think it's like quitting time. At least I think. It would suck if you're like in some sort of like sewer, well, not even sewer system, like some place where you're disoriented, like a cave.
So
Yeah.
basically, they just track time through seasonal changes, observing some position, the shadow length, and
Mhm.
using, what I said earlier was, like Therio hours, whatever.
The what?
The L word.
Lethargical.
Liturgical.
Lethargical. That's when you get tired.
Ah,
Lethargical. What?
liturgical.
Lethargic.
Lethargic.
Lethargy.
Liturgic.
I don't know. Maybe that's not what that means.
But apparently
Lethargical.
later, they're adapting with the hourglass,
Lethargic?
and now
Mm.
as
No.
Strobel.
Liturgical. Well, I might have gotten it wrong.
Anything pertaining to public religious worships, rites, and ceremonies.
Liturgy?
Liturgical. That is the word.
Liturgical.
I've never heard that conjugation of it before.
Me neither.
Maybe
Me
it's the
neither.
same thing as liturgy.
Well, yeah.
I guess
is.
it does
It's
come
just a
from
different-
liturgy, yeah.
Oh, and they also deal with the. They also know if the church bells.
You think they had Fortnite back in the day?
I remember asking Rafi a
Warner?
question of if you think they did burnouts in ancient Rome.
Chariot?
The chariot.
I bet you they did.
But it's not burnouts. Obviously, they're going to be kicking up dust where they could.
Oh, you mean like, I mean like...
Let chariot
Racing and stuff. That was a big
That's a thing back then. Yeah.
Obviously. I wonder what the equivalent to that would have been for medieval times. Because obviously chariots were still...
Probably just horse racing.
That
So-
or be like how much arrows you can go and kill.
I wonder what they gambled on. We can look that up. What did medieval people gamble on?
I would
Probably
assume
coins.
Jousting.
Well, I was
Would be
also
one.
thinking, what's it called? Like rooster fights, if they had them.
They probably actually no. They probably would have.
fighting.
Dog fighting, that's messed up. But then again,
They probably did.
Yeah.
Because they had warhounds and stuff.
That's another thing. Did you guys did you know how paganistic they were during those times with the whole there were certain rules you couldn't break in the day, or a fairy would come over and freaking steal all your dinner.
So, dice games.
Dumbasses.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, dice game was in the medieval. That's how they deal with gamble. That's
Mm.
crazy. But they got introduced with the card games.
Wait, so they
To
were rolling
Egypt.
dice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, they casted lots during
Board
for
games.
Jesus' cloak. Remember?
Playing cards, sporting matches.
No, I just imagine them kind of back when we were in school when those guys would be at the back up against the wall rolling dice. I just picture a bunch of medieval peasants doing the same thing. On merch, I'm gonna get snake eyes on merch and just rolling it.
On merch.
On mercantile, I'll roll snake eyes.
Backgammon, that's right, I forgot. We don't ever play that though. I know that chess likes to get packaged with it.
I've never even played backgammon.
Nah, neither have I.
What is that?
I don't even know how
Wait,
it
I
works.
think it's like a type of sliding game. You've seen the thing on the what's it called?
Hey, what now?
Backgammon.
Bad?
I'll do
Oh,
it.
with the triangles.
Yeah.
On the back. Okay, yeah.
Wait, I thought that was Chinese chess.
That.
Wait. Oh,
You've seen
that.
that. It gets packaged with
Oh, yeah, no.
Ain't
I've
nobody
never
ever
played
play that shit.
chess. Well,
I don't even
I-
know how to play it.
I don't even understand how to play that game. Only thing I know is you gotta take how much the
Something like that.
yeah, like chess basically.
Did they play Mancala?
Mancala?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the the bead game where you try to
Mancala?
Mancala, yeah, Mancala.
The Weave game.
Bean.
Oh, the bean.
It's
The
an Arabic
bean.
word, so they probably did. This thing?
Yeah.
You've seen that too. You see a bunch of this stuff in Walmart. Isn't that it's kind of messed up? Deepest roots of the game span across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. They probably did. Maybe using rocks.
Yeah.
Unless they got specialized.
I got a
powers.
rock.
But there's not much that peasants could have really gambled on aside from livestock.
I
and
think
other things.
peasants back then was just basically stealing
I
stuff.
think their pastime was
Yeah,
the
drinking.
peasants were just robbing each
Yeah.
other. Just stealing and drinking.
I don't think the peasants had it as bad as people think they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
it. I don't think it was. Sure, quality of life not nearly what we have now. We have air
let me
conditioning,
just steal
but I don't think it was
that bad.
everybody was practically a slave.
I don't think anybody really had to worry about heat either during the summer because it's Europe, and usually and typically Europe is a lot colder than in the
in the
United
US,
States.
yeah.
But I mean, and global warming wasn't as bad back then. The only problem is probably winter.
Look,
Whenever
The
it
food
got
and stuff
really
were-
warm.
I'd rather
getting-
be a peasant in medieval Europe than a peasant in freaking the Ying Dynasty in China or whatever.
I might as well be a damn,
Like building the Great Wall.
I might as well be a ranger freaking going stealing
Chinese
stuff.
history is pretty cool too. The amount of dynasties. And,
Yeah, they had a lot of dynasties.
crazy
That's
stuff
crazy.
going on.
Yeah, for the royalty, not the people.
How many dynasties they had?
So many.
It's something like the
And you
heir
can-
to the Qing dynasty sneezes, 30 million people die.
Well, I know
This
that
Chinese peasant misplaced that one brick. Execute 10,000.
I know that the Chinese really didn't like making contact with the Western
So-
empires and other stuff like that.
They
ha-
thought we were still speaking Latin when they when the
Whenever
British showed up in boats and
Yeah.
yeah,
So apparently they had 13 dynasties.
major dynasties.
Yeah, the major dynasties. The last one was the Qin dynasty.
Qing.
The Qing
Qing.
dynasty. From 6044 to 1912 CE.
Yeah, that was around the time that like Japan, like it was a little bit after Japan beat them in. No wait, was that? I remember. It was whenever they got screwed over by the entire like United Nations. Not really. It was a coalition. America,
that's when they got
Russia.
split up, right?
Well, not just
No.
that. It was like other stuff, but it
Is
was
this
like
during the mid 1800s?
no. This is early 1900s.
Early 1900s.
So do you
when
remember?
Russia was invading the northern part of China and Japan, and Japan was going into the
Russo-Japanese
Southern-
War. Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, it was a little bit after that, but there was also like a type of like rebellion that happened. I think it might have been the Boxer Rebellion.
Yeah. The
You
Boxer,
don't remember?
yeah.
Okay, so basically that happened, and since the Western powers and empires all had a claim or a stake in China, they're like, we can't be having this happen. So they came in and they stopped it. So it was like a coalition of like 8 nations: America, Britain, Germany, Japan, Russia, all like basically everybody that had a claim in there.
So basically, colonial countries.
Yeah. They went in there and they basically fought them off. And that kind of sparked something within the Chinese people to say, like, you guys are screwing us over to the Qing dynasty. And they essentially, I guess, overthrew them in the end. Not. They had a bunch of turmoil throughout, like, the early.
That's why you have
to
dynasty
have,
warriors.
That's why, it's always
Yeah.
that way in China.
1900s. That's why you hear the. I think that's where the song, what's it called? Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting, comes from.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
really?
I think, the fact that it's still called the Boxer Rebellion is crazy too, because it was like the Americans didn't understand that they had karate, and they called it something else. And what the fuck, Bryce?
What? Listen.
Sorry,
Nah,
No,
it
what
wasn't.
what
It
are
was
you
just what's it
saying?
called? It was people just shadowboxing and
I saw you. Don't worry about it.
It's nothing to worry about it, people.
But yeah, cool stuff.
Basically, to summarize,
In conclusion,
you said I was scratching my ball.
Wasn't Japan in the Russo-Japanese War? Weren't they the first Asian country to like win against a Western country?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were, but it wasn't entirely like just due to like them being superior. There was a lot of things that were going on. But there was a land that Japan wanted. I think it was Korea.
Yeah, they
And-
really wanted Korea.
So like the entirety. It's not just south and like north. It was just the entirety of the Korean peninsula.
And they made Manchuria, right? That was their vassal.
At the ends, they were able to do that. But Japan went to war with Russia, and Russia had to send over its boats, or specifically ships from like. Keep in mind, this was like on the other side. So you know how like Russia's pretty big. One side is basically like with China, and the other side is like towards Europe. They had ships over there in the Black Sea, near Europe or in Europe. So they had to sail all the way over there, and then fight. And so they did that. They're exhausted, the Russians, and then they still fought the Japanese, but the Japanese were like a lot more tactical with their strategies, or like they were, I guess in a sense, a lot more shrewd than the Russians were, since the Russians had this false sense of superiority since they're a Western nation, that Japan kind of, well, smacked them around and essentially destroyed their fleet. So Japan had no choice but, or not Japan, Russia had no choice but to essentially surrender the land that was, Manchuria and Korea to Japan. Now, Japan didn't want to take on the entirety of Manchuria, so they puppeted it. But for Korea, they also kind of puppeted it, but it was more like a tighter control type of thing. If you don't know how big it was, the like slice of land in what's it called? In China, it was pretty big.
Huh, that's interesting.
This is it.
I didn't notice that.
That's pretty big.
It's bigger than Japan by
It
a
is.
lot.
Well, yeah. That's what they took from Russia.
Wow.
And then the second time the Japanese fought the Russians, they got dog walked.
They did. Except this is because one, that war that Japan won against Russia on was like Russia was just defending like some like coastal islands and then also fighting in the water. Whenever Japan went up against the Soviet Union, they fought through Manchukuo, which is the puppet state that they had. That was on land, and the Russians, they generally attack. So even if Japan attacked them first, like Russians would counterattack and they just swarmed them.
Yeah, and the Japanese had no actual, like, mechanized armor during World War II at all. They had
No.
some stuff. Their tanks were awful, though. They were strictly for, what's it called, infantry support roles. They were not
I think the
anti-tank
only thing they were
roles.
good at was the battleships and stuff. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
The ships. There's some.
yeah, debatable, just because...
I mean, the ships, yes, but like army-wise,
Like, armor-wise, no.
no. Aside from like being defensive, but then again, that's everybody's better on defense whenever you're a human.
Yeah.
Or, like whenever you're fighting on the ground, because all you have to do is hide until somebody gets close enough for you to shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, in military terms, you need, in order to succeed in an offense, you have to have, like, a factor of 3-to-1 in order to effectively, like take a spot. Yeah.
Overtake
You
it.
need a lot of people to go on the offensive. Anyways, nerd stuff. I love history though.
Wouldn't
we'll
that
talk about this.
basically, like, Japan was just mainly focused on just taking land by a lot?
During World War
But when
II?
it comes with defense, they just don't know what they're doing?
Well, defense, they knew what they were doing, but offensive-wise, the only reason they had this false sense of superiority for the army is because these idiots fought China, and China sucks because it's disorganized, and
Yeah.
they don't have like equipment for everybody, and even if they do, they've got a
They-
bunch of like prideful leaders, and like
They basically beat China. Thought
they
could
beat
take on
China
the
and could
world.
take on the world. They went up against Russia. They got humbled real quick, and then they were like, you know what? Let's not
messing
attack. We're not. We're because Germany and Italy, I think, asked Japan to attack Russia.
But they're like,
Japan was
"Nah."
like, I don't think so. So they decided, well, we're better on the ocean. Let's attack America and see. Like they'll capitulate real quickly, or like say,
Yeah.
hey man, I don't want to mess with you. You destroyed our fleet. That didn't happen.
The opposite happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they woke up the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
They
So
did.
that happens, and then they found out. I mean, island battles for Japan. Obviously, Japan lost, but they were thinking, oh, we must have dealt enough devastating like blows to the point where America doesn't want to keep on like island hopping.
Dude,
So they were like fighting. To
They
the,
kept
Oh,
going.
they kept
imagine,
going.
imagine thinking you just destroyed their entire fleet, and then
A
the
fleet
actual
twice the size shows up.
yeah, and then you're like,
wasn't
oh.
their most battle was in like the Middle Ocean, like the Middle Pacific or something?
Midway.
The Midway?
That was
I know-
one of the like turning points. Well, it probably was actually a turning point because
I think
a
they
lot
lost-
of their boats, their most valuable boats, like
Yeah.
actually got sank.
They had aircraft carriers. They didn't focus on them, but they did, and I think they lost both of them in that battle.
They didn't. Yeah,
Actually,
aircraft
yeah,
carriers.
yeah.
Aircraft carriers were like a new thing, and they were mostly experimental, and people didn't know how valuable they were until like they actually started using them during World War II,
Yeah.
and they ended up becoming like they were better than battleships, and battleships was the
like heavy,
the main
slow.
thing. That's what everybody thought is, a big boat with big cannons,
But the
shooting
big
at
advan-
other boats,
The
right?
only
But
thing
no,
that
it's having
advances-
Having an
What
aircraft
is
carrier is so much better.
aircraft?
They had four aircraft carriers in the Battle of Midway. They lost all four.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that because
America,
That's
Am-
crazy.
Because
America, America had three. It only lost one.
who was it?
There's one guy
No, it wasn't Enterprise.
in band camp.
It wasn't New Jersey.
Where
USS Yorktown.
Yes, that was
the one, yeah.
Wasn't that
The Three Sisters.
Three Sisters?
Yeah, that's the name of them.
I think that was a what's it called?
Pinto.
The
But
Santa
no,
Cruz.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone know
It
about
was Yorktown, and then Yorktown was New Jersey, and then Enterprise was like the last one they had. Yeah,
And
Enterprise.
now we have the USS Ford, which is a
Yeah.
super carrier.
Hell yeah. Freaking.
What do you guys think about the freaking Trump class battleships?
Oh my.
That's funny.
The Trump class battleship.
Is there a picture of one?
There's no way that's a
Is there
thing.
an
Yes, there
image
is.
of front of the ship instead of a mermaid?
I'm
is
waiting
Trump?
for the USS Obama so we
So
can
you know,
live out
From
Black Ops
2.
2.
It was an aircraft, wasn't it?
Oh,
Basically-
those are like submarines, aren't they?
no, no, they're actually battleships.
Oh, that is Battleship. Fucking like.
They're basically supposed to be shooting out a bunch of missiles and stuff like that.
Instead of shooting, like, cannon wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they do have cannons, but like it's mostly like
Missiles.
it's supposed to be
yeah.
doing everything except for like sending out airplanes, which doesn't really make much sense considering
I
airplanes
prefer
can
the
just travel
USS
further.
Obama.
I think it wanted a rail cannon too, which doesn't make much sense. You need a lot
Why
of
would you
energy
need
for
a-
that.
Well, wouldn't that be a lot of expense? Like, too much?
Yes,
Yeah.
and the
So
energy.
the Gerald R. Ford class, which is the U.S. Navy's newest and most advanced nuclear powered super carriers, are about $13 billion per ship.
Jeez. I mean, yeah, because
They weigh 100,000 tons.
you're carrying a
white
nuclear
folks.
weapon.
Dude, that's like a
I mean,
bunch of
a
Ford
reactor.
Rangers.
Yeah.
How many
How many Ford Rangers could I fit on it?
I wonder
the
if we-
USS John F. Kennedy is the second one of that type.
And it's still
The
active.
USS
isn't it?
Enterprise is
they're
is
new,
another
so
one.
yeah,
They're new
They're
versions.
active. Older fleet carriers.
Oh my gosh.
will probably be getting serviced out.
A future ship that's coming is the George W. Bush. George W. Bush is getting his own.
Where do you think we're gonna deploy that one?
Where do you think?
Middle East.
Straight up
It's just gonna sit there off the coast and never move. That's funny. And things are huge. I wonder how many.
It's a class 6.
I know that like the Trump class battleship wants to have like laser
I
weapons.
don't think so.
Yeah. If you don't know what that does, essentially it's like a super quick. Well, not super quick, but it like wherever there's an incoming like missile or flying object, it's just gonna go over there, superheat it, and then blow it up in the midair. But I'm not entirely sure if that's like feasible to like
Yeah.
implement.
Oh, so the World War II Enterprise was decommissioned between 1958 to 1960. And, well, scrap, too.
Which one?
The World War II Enterprise
Oh.
is got on decommission and scrap between the 58 and 60. But the new one, the CVN 65.
I wonder what artillery was back in the medieval ages or medieval times.
Trebuchets.
Well, no. I meant like for the boats.
Trebuchets. No, like I'm like trebuchets and slingshots.
Mm,
Apparently, there's a future Enterprise coming.
What did they have? Did they have galleys still,
What?
or did they have was it
Vikings.
caravels? Caravels? What are they called?
Vikings?
Vikings had what was essentially
Their artillery probably was bows still. So I would assume if they wanted big stuff, it would be like ballista size type stuff.
I thought they would have had slingshots too.
I mean, they probably could, but like
Dude, they were probably using some stuff that like we wouldn't even fathom.
Greek fire. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Because like I mean,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
you probably had some like guys on that boat that are pretty innovative, and they're like, hey, what if we did this? You think that'd kill them easier?
That's crazy. Think of it.
Boarding pike. I guess that's just to like stop onboarding things. There's not really much you can do in the age of naval combat.
Yeah, because you didn't have explosives yet.
You need.
They just yelled at each other.
Oh,
Nah,
it was a hornet.
They
That's
use,
what
I guess, bows,
forgot.
crossbows. I guess that's about it.
Fire
Screws you can chuck.
stuff. Little like torches that catch the stuff on fire.
Yeah.
Essentially Molotov cocktails.
Or you could also I mean, you'd have to board eventually. So yeah, you would need pikes and other stuff like that. Worst case scenario, you just ram somebody's ship, but I feel like that's way too much of a lose-lose.
Yeah, because
Wouldn't
what,
that, like,
not only
impact-
do you sink their ship, you sink yours.
That's what Assassin's Creed 4 is.
Have you seen? Has anyone seen the anime Gate? The anime Gate.
I did.
No.
So it's like Japan gets invaded by this medieval army that comes through like a portal, and they have dragons and orcs and stuff fighting
It's
for
on
them.
Netflix still.
But Japan has guns and helicopters and tanks. And they go offensive, right? They go fighting, they fight back, go through the portals and fight them. And these guys, they literally bring like 300,000 army strong, forces, and just get completely wiped out with machine gun fire and like airstrikes and stuff. There's dragons and stuff around, and the jets come over and just blow them out of the sky. It's actually a really good
They
watch.
also had to fight each other. That was the other thing too.
Mm-hmm. It's actually a really good fight. Sorry.
Well, it's like imagine being
It's a
time
good anime.
traveled to the Civil War, and you have an AK-47 and like a drum mag.
Do you get plate armor?
Yeah, even honestly, dude, even without the plate armor, dude, I think you're stacking bodies on bodies.
You sure are, but they did have firearms. They did have those.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
but I'm
muzzle
saying
loaders.
like before you even get shot, you're stacking bodies before they. land
Everybody's
the hit.
like walking up, and you're just like, "Ta, ta, ta, ta."
Bro, you just stand out there and you just start spraying.
I would still hide behind cover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get killed, but I'm just saying.
Especially with the way bullets
All right,
were,
well, how about this?
designed.
Not the Civil War, Revolutionary War. Nah, you good?
That's still pretty. I mean,
Those guns were even less accurate than the ones in the
The
Civil
Yeah,
War.
they were all smoothbore, but that's still like
the bullets.
you get hit by
you
that.
Oh no, you cooked. I ain't saying you not. No, just
Yeah.
don't get hit.
The Patriots.
Just don't get hit.
Yeah, a freaking dude with a cannon.
Oh, you're talking about when that guy's head came off?
How about this full Juggernaut suit?
Oh, dude, you're not dying.
Juggernaut
not
suit.
dying.
Give you the machine gun they used in Vietnam.
240. Oh, M16.
M16.
Oh, the M16.
Yeah. The pig.
But
No,
they're-
we bring one. We bring one Huey gunship, chopper gunner. Start just mowing down these.
How do you think someone would react from the 1700s to a helicopter flying around just
I mean,
booming
there
down?
were some videos about like what if like an Air Force like a Raptor went to like in the late like World War II and stuff.
The issue with that would be parts. You could shoot it. You could make ammo for it, and jet fuel is the same. But like,
Repairing it will be an issue.
yeah, it's like
You'd have to reverse engineer it, and there's a ton of spies already during that time. Which, I mean, not too bad, but
At least UAV
So
wasn't
the
a
thing
thing
is-
back then.
you would have to, like parts. Because how many hours of service does a jet get per hour? that
Depending
it's
what
used?
kind of model.
What-
That's
what-
I
which
think
one was it?
about.
Which jet were you talking about?
F-22 Raptor.
The F-22 Raptor.
F-22 Raptor.
Or the
service.
Su-57, the Russian.
Do you think an American
Stealth.
Patriot could comprehend F-250?
So an F-22
The truck?
The
Raptor.
truck, yeah.
Listen, an F-22 Raptor requires roughly 30 to 40 hours of maintenance for every 1 hour of flight.
That sounds about right.
So
That's like normal working
if
hours.
you fly it for 1 hour,
It's a week.
Yeah,
all
it's like normal working hours.
all of the parts that would need to be maintained need to get either switched out or like, cleaned up or whatever.
But when
or
you think about it,
refurbished and
how
all that.
long would that take for that part?
Yeah,
to...
so you get one really good hour. You know what I'm saying?
Mayhem.
To cause mayhem. Obviously,
George Washington,
literally-
the British Navy is no more.
literally
What do you
nothing
mean, the
is gonna
Navy?
stop you, but you only get that 1 hour.
How far can one of those jets fly?
I have no idea.
I think
can look it
more
up.
than...
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these things are, faster than the speed of sound.
1,500 miles per hour.
No, I meant like, what's the distance? Like, how far can it go before it runs out of gas?
1,000 miles per hour is crazy.
They would literally think God just smited them down. They wouldn't even see the
So
plane.
it can go up to 2.5 to 3 hours.
A flight?
600 miles.
It depends on whether it's got fuel tanks that it can detach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's maximum range. I'm assuming can go up to one extension. Well, more fuel
Yeah.
can go up 1,650, which 3.5 to 4 hours. But after afterburns, more fuel.
How-
Assuming which
How long is the U.S. coastline?
I mean, depending
For
how
you, for what? For
Which
what?
coast?
Which
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 coast?
fight are we talking about?
I'm talking about the Revolutionary War.
Okay, so that would be just the
The
East
13
Coast.
colonies, yeah.
Well, first of all the fighting happened like naval fights. Where did that happen, if at all?
I would assume.
It was like by the cities.
Yeah.
You just put it by the city.
No,
and you
but I'm saying.
tear up these.
No, I'm saying though you only have access to the jet for like however long before it, crashes or runs out of fuel.
About 2,000 miles. But that's from like the north of the U.S. East Coast down to
Yeah.
to
Dude,
Florida.
We could
No, that's
remove-
Florida. So like you
No.
still have you have a little bit less than that because Florida wasn't really like
So,
part of that
yeah.
the
I
revolution.
think you're thinking about the fuel a little too linear.
Yeah.
Yes, it has the capability of going 1,500, right? But its top speed is over 1,000 miles per hour because it's going faster than the speed of sound. I'm pretty sure when it's hitting that, it's burning so much fuel that like it can't sustain that for an hour.
But who said I'm gonna be sitting here gunning it the entire time?
But where are you gonna go?
No, I'm saying you just fly it. Let's just say you start all the way in. the
What's your
south.
strategic what's your tactics with the
Well,
F-22
they're gonna-
Raptor?
They're gonna shoot down their boats.
Why not just kamikaze it into the king's court?
Bro, that would be messed up.
What? Who would stop you?
Well, you get like 4 missiles, right?
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Also, you wouldn't have GPS.
Just follow the coastline.
No.
Oh wow. So apparently the F-22 beats the Su-57
Yeah.
because top speed goes to Mark 2.25 as the 57 goes to Mark 2. I'm the Flash.
Imagine a silencer. And they're not actually that silent. They're
Alright.
still pretty loud.
Stealth bombers.
The Browning 19 or the what's that German machine? gun?
MG42.
The MG42.
What is this, like a COD Zombies question?
No,
Yeah.
like history. That too. But history-wise,
Oh,
That's probably the-
MG42.
Browning.
I thought
wouldn't a Browning be like more firepower?
So the thing is,
It's
the Brown,
it's a 32 cal, I think.
the
And
Browning.
the MG is the
MG42.
MG. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
The
what-
Germans, I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't like to standardize their bullets.
Yeah.
Or at least during that time. So, like, obviously that's 32 millimeters for the US, but there's also like 9 millimeter guns. So everything is like at least like relative to one another. Obviously, you can't mix and match bullets. But
Oh, okay. So apparently it takes us 7.92. What a 57 millimeter.
yeah, but
Wow.
like guns aren't made out of
No.
792. It's like 762.
1,200 rounds per minute.
Yeah, it's a fast.
It was called
gun.
Hitler's buzzsaw for a reason.
Because I found it shoots.
Yeah,
And the Browning was like more what? Accurate? Accuracy?
the thing
or
with the
power?
Browning,
It had more stopping power.
they
More stopping
yeah,
power?
stopping power. Its original role was supposed to be a support gunning role, but it was kind of redundant. Don't get me wrong. I love the Browning automatic rifle. I would love to own one. They're so cool.
You're thinking of a different. The Browning automatic rifle is a different.
Oh wait, are you guys
That
thinking
is-
of the LMG?
Yes,
Yeah, we're
LMG.
thinking
machine
of the
gun.
one
Oh,
that's
my
belt
bad,
fed.
my bad,
The
my
Browning
bad.
automatic. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
also
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
You're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the M19. We're talking about the M19 Browning.
Oh yeah, I would go with that one over the MG then. I thought for whatever reason I thought he was comparing the bar to the
No,
MG.
no, not the bar. I
Oh,
love the bar.
The
That's a
bar
nice
is
gun.
like
It's
Yeah,
a funny
I-
looking
it's
yeah, I
like
know
a
what he's talking
precursor to an actual assault rifle kind of.
I like
Because
the bar.
it is to be like
It is a funny looking one.
support rifle,
Yeah.
but it was also that thing was heavy. It was like almost 30 pounds.
That's
I think.
why there's no gun like it that's used in a modern military.
Yeah.
It was very prototypish for what it was. Oh, did you know that the FBI had their own version of
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's got like recoil springs inside the stock and stuff, and dude, it's freaking nasty.
I wonder.
They had drum mags.
That's cool.
What?
I think they had drum mags. Here, let me look it up.
I wonder if in medieval times, like each of the major nations had their own FBI or secret police.
I don't know.
Yeah, they probably.
They probably did.
probably did.
Like the whispers of what's it called, the King's Court.
Well, they're. I think they're the existence of like the thieves guilds. Like they know that they existed, but they don't have any records on like how they operated and stuff,
Besides killing people.
which is kind of weird to think about. Like the thieves guild did in fact exist. It's
Yeah.
just no one has any
and
any, like,
how that works.
records of how they were working and what their hierarchies were and stuff like that.
I guess it's like a bounty. Some type of stuff.
Not really. Apparently, it's what's it called? There were spy masters that the
Mm.
kings would have to call on.
Yeah, that too.
They're decentralized, so there weren't like. I guess the only way a king would be able to like get that type of ring in there is unless he pays them, or
Have somebody in there to get information.
you quite literally have to just be like very local or like what's it called?
know what's everybody.
Yeah,
Basically,
know everyone.
Would pay someone who
Who
lives
knows
in
someone?
the area.
Yeah, and then gather information like that.
yeah.
Mm. I don't think an introvert would last.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think you're forced to actually like speak with somebody back in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, we didn't have internet.
Nah,
No, it was just
You,
actually.
if you wanted,
well, you didn't have books either.
I don't know. People
Not
say that,
much.
but like during the medieval times, a lot of like Christian history was like really propelling people forward to the science age.
Yeah.
People talk a lot of crap about like how the Christians started the Dark Ages, and it's like no, like the Dark Ages weren't very dark at all. There was a lot of like
There were a lot of
thought
things
and stuff
happening.
going on.
It's
Yeah.
just not really recorded
What
because
did
of
the
how
Dark
it's-
Ages be like? What?
Dark Ages is just basically the fall of Rome.
Yeah, it's a little after that. So
Oh,
like
okay.
before the Middle Ages were the Dark Ages, but
Yeah.
like,
literacy survived because of the church too. Like all of those old philosophers and stuff were being like scribes and stuff were keeping them around in order because they saw value in what they taught, and also like the ancient poets and stuff too. Like it's really without the Catholic Church we wouldn't have a lot of stuff from like the ancient world.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's just people that got like wizened up and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
It must have been a scary time. I mean, nobody really knows what the economy looks like whenever your empire falls. I wonder what
Yeah.
that's like. Hopefully, we'll
I
never
don't think
have to
there is an
experience that.
economy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how are you paying people? How am I going to get
Trading.
food?
How will that work if the whole thing is falling down?
Well, no, trading basically, like if you got, say, I'm growing pumpkins over here.
Bartering.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
bartering.
okay.
Like, hey, I want
But I
some
mean,
eggs. I'll give
gold
you some
still held
squash.
its gold and precious metals still held.
Oh
their
yeah,
values.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
But like
That's
the
still
fall
scary
of Rome,
because somebody could say, "Oh, you owe me like, oh, this is about like, I don't know, 10 silver pieces." And whenever the Roman Empire was still up and about, I'm sure that it would be kind of be like somewhat
I just
relative
noticed.
to it, but it'd be
Taxes
like
wasn't a thing back
there were like
then.
five.
oh yeah, they were.
And
They
But then
sure
they say
were.
like,
Wait a
no,
minute.
it's 10.
Oh, yeah, they were.
And since
Never
the
mind, my bad.
You gotta
Roman
think, there's
Empire
a whole
fell,
Bible verse.
Yeah, I forgot.
who would the police be?
Even
Completely
Caesar was
forgot.
Caesar.
Yeah.
We think of it like that, but like
There, well, there is no police.
yeah, it's localized, sure,
Localized,
but you know, there's got to
The
be some
army is
sort
the
of like
police back then.
bigger order,
Yeah,
I guess. Some form of government, and if the government falls, that's the scary part.
Well, the church kind of picked up the pieces where the Roman government fell. That's why the institution of the Catholic Church got so strong and powerful. They really stepped in and like took over that position. And that's why you had like stuff from it was like for a time the only person who could appoint a new pope was the emperor of Rome, right? The Byzantine part. That side. History is weird.
It's weird,
It's
but
cool.
it's really interesting
Yeah,
to
it's
know like what's
cool.
going on back then.
But like I don't know, you just see stuff going on there that's just like not what you expect constantly.
Yeah, kids don't care about any of that stuff.
I don't see why.
I would have.
Yeah,
When I was a kid and stuff, I always thought history was cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
but
same.
like kids, they don't care nowadays.
I was a little nerd when it comes to World War II. But anyhow, sure sums up what we talked about today. But thank you for everybody who's listened. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you once again. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.